Cancer is a continuously growing global health problem that poses major challenges, most especially in developing countries. Find out how this international distributor of innovative health products came up with a series of solutions to help increase a patient's chance to survive the odds. In 2020, the Philippines hit a record of 354,398 prevalent cancer cases within a 5-year period. But because of poor access to health care, especially for people living below the poverty line, the advances and breakthroughs in cancer remain unattainable to many.
Cancer refers to a group of diseases that's characterized actually by cell growth, abnormal cell growth and proliferation, inflammation, as well as angiogenesis or formation of new blood vessels. It always starts with mutation in the genome or the genetic makeup of a person inside the cell. Before PPARs, most of my patients, they were unable to finish the chemotherapy regimens because of the side effects and because of discomfort during the process of chemotherapy.
Maria's son Dominic was diagnosed with stage 4 rhabdomyosarcoma when he was only 4 years old. While coping with the recovery of her other sick child, Maria found it hard to accept Dominic's condition.
It was actually very devastating kasi with Dominic, it was manifested mga 4 years old na siya. Unlike dun sa daughter ko na congenital talaga, baby pa lang. Yung mga bandang September, meron ng umbok-umbok dito sa leeg niya. Hindi ko talagang inisip na cancer kaagad siya until nag-nosebleed siya.
Dominic was prescribed chemotherapy, but his family insisted to rush to an integrative doctor to seek for alternative cure.
Medyo hesitant ako kasi as a mother, I know the side effects ng chemotherapy kasi. So what I did is that I rushed towards the integrative doctor of my daughter, who happened to be PPAR partner doctor of Simply Nature.
One of the hardest decisions to make for people living with cancer is choosing the kind of treatment that would work best. To help patients and their families deal with this growing health problem, one company commits to producing safe, credible, and natural health solutions by drawing on the latest bioscience technology to deliver a series of safe, efficient, and natural products. What is Simply Nature and what does it do?
Simply Nature is a company we created and founded about 10 years ago. Our mission is to find effective health solutions for people. So we provide natural products that work in combination with conventional therapy and medicine.
As an international company that provides natural solutions for cancer, metabolic syndrome, and degenerative diseases, the management upholds a health philosophy that centers on whole food nutrition as the frontier in health management.
When we talk about choosing treatment, especially in the area of cancer, patients are really afraid of chemotherapy because of its side effects, and they tend to then look towards natural products. But this is not either conventional or natural choice. At Simply Nature, patients can have the best of both worlds. Our protocols work with conventional chemotherapy to minimize its side effects so that they can get the best treatment using both conventional and natural together.
Cancer is like a virus. It continuously evolves, it mutates. So it can develop defenses against our usual treatment modalities like chemotherapy.
Like I said, chemotherapy and radiation therapy have a lot of side effects. So more often than not, patients stop their treatment because of these side effects. It's very important to have the support.
With the supplements that we give the patients, there will be lesser side effects, so they will be able to finish their chemotherapy protocols more comfortably.
This company introduced PPARs, which is touted as one of the best natural ways of solving serious health problems.
PPARs stands for peroxisome proliferator activating receptors. It's basically a nuclear receptor found inside the cells. Now, when these receptors are activated, the benefit that you can get from that is, number one, cellular differentiation. Number two, it's to promote fatty acid metabolism. If you have better insulin function, your blood sugar will naturally go down. And another one is to induce cancer cell death by modulating the immune system.
As a sole distributor of PPARs, the company promotes its use to many reputable health institutions worldwide and actively organizes corporate health conferences and public health talks in Asia.
Simply Nature PPARs is made out of a special strain of these types of microalgae. It is very effective by protecting the bone marrow. We maintain the integrity of the immune system of the patient, which is very important to prevent infections and to fight off the cancer itself. And also, Simply Nature PPARs is also very dense in nutrients so that the patient can recover faster because of better cellular healing.
Sabi ko parang na-lead kami to an extraordinary and I must say amazing journey. I'm very proud of him. At a young age, na 8 years old, he believed that it's his purpose to siguro encourage other people then. We would like to really pay it forward with the knowledge that there's really like Simply Nature that can help people with cancer very much.
When fighting cancer, living healthy is very important because it allows us to pursue what is important to us in life, and that's what it's all about. When we can help a patient move from being bedridden to getting up, to be lucid in thought so that they can have conversations with their loved ones, it gives the whole process of fighting cancer a whole new meaning. And that is what drives us at Simply Nature.
But I really wanted to share yung point from childhood. So 100 years from now, it will not matter what my bank account was, the sort of house I live in, or the kind of car I drove, but the world made the difference because I was important in the life of a child.
Good morning, everyone. We are from Simply Nature, and that is Tito Shen, and I'm Tita Jesslyn.
Hey, Poliana Jesslyn. Jesus loves me.
Jesus loves me.
For our gratitude, Mr. Shan.
Ito na ba ang mga sundalo ng Israelita? Maliit man ako sa iyong paningin, malaki ang aking Diyos. Tutulungan ako ng aking Diyos at lalabanan kita at tatalunin kita.
Nayanig ang paligid sa pagbagsak ni Goliath.
Si Mother Ricky, pasalamatan naman natin si Mother Ricky at palakpakan din natin siya kahit siya ay nasa ibang lugar ngayon.
Paano kayo di gagaling, di ba?
Pinupurit, sinasamba kita. And Lord, we believe you for testimony from every child in this place. In Jesus' name we pray. And all God's people say, Amen! Hallelujah!
Nung 2022 po, yung parang inipon ko talagang pera pambili nung Simply Nature, nung vials, ng PPARS. Yun po yung iniinom ko.
Cancer lang siya, strong tayo. Kaya patuloy lang po tayong lumaban kasi may Panginoon tayong gumagabay sa atin lagi. Yun lang.
And on behalf of the Simply Nature team, God bless you all. Maraming salamat for blessing us this day. We hope that we have made you all happy. God bless you once again. Here in Simply Nature, we are always with you from start to healing. Thank you, everybody.
CA markers.
Mataas siya. Then, nung after 3 months, nung pag-take ko ng Simply Nature, doon, naging normal na siya until now. Kahit si Dr. Johan na gulat siya kasi biglang normal agad. In just 3 months, nag-normal agad yung CEA ko. 1 year and 5 months. Cancer-free. Dapat may food supplements kayo. Like Simply Nature na proven and tested ko na. Talagang hindi ako pwedeng mawala ng Simply Nature na yan.
2019, I was being diagnosed a cancer of my uterus. So I was shocked. Sabi ko, bakit nagkaroon ako ng ganito? Samantalang hindi ako mahilig sa pagkain. I'm sorry, basura. Started the tablet and then the powder. Tinry ko din yung yung tawag dito.
Gel?
Yeah, yung gel. Yes. It's really good. After 2 months ng aking therapy and taking PPARS, sabi ni doktora, magpa-laboratory ka na. So, nung nagpa-laboratory na ako, praise God, 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago, lahat normal. To God be the glory. Salamat sa Diyos. Sa 2 months ko po ng aking pag-take ng PPARS, ako po ay cancer-free.
Fiber diet is the diet that I always advocate for. So it's a whole food plant-based diet. So why? It's because a high fiber diet lowers the risk of developing cancer in the first place. No? So something that can prevent cancer is also something that you can use to kill cancer.
Hi everyone, welcome to another episode of Simply Healed. And today topic, Doc, is so exciting. But first, let us welcome Doc Jansen to the program. Welcome, Doc.
Hello, Sean. Hello, everyone. Happy New Year to everyone. So, for every new beginning, this is one of the reasons why I chose this topic for
because it's a new year.
It's a new year.
And we're going to talk about new therapies for cancer.
New concepts in therapies for cancers,
this.
and what dietary patterns that you can undergo to make these things more effective. And immunotherapy is already becoming the more mainstream. It's going to be the next big thing in cancer treatment. Okay.
I really like Doc, what you do for all our viewers in this program, because we always think when we go for cutting edge treatments, there's nothing more that we can do than just go for the treatment. So today we are actually going to discuss, Doc's going to help us understand one type of immunotherapy and what diet you can take to make your immunotherapy more or less effective. I think that's so exciting that you can actually do something the way you eat that will make your very expensive, because immunotherapy is very expensive.
Correct.
You make your immunotherapy more or less effective. So Doc, this is so exciting. Let's jump into it. What immunotherapy are you going to share with us today?
Okay, so the type of immunotherapy that I'm going to share with you today is what we call as an immune checkpoint inhibitor therapy. Okay, now what is this immune checkpoint inhibitor? So a lot of us are bleeding our nose already. Okay, so cancer cells evade the immune system, right? So they dodge the immune system. The immune system doesn't recognize the cancer cells. Okay, so how does this concept come about? Okay, so it's because tumor cells express PD-L1. So PD-L1 is like a mask. Okay. So when the immune system, your T cells, detect these masks, okay,
it ignores
the tumor. So it's like, okay, I see this mask, I know this guy, I won't attack this guy because this is a friend.
This is a friend.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah. So this therapy, or the immune checkpoint inhibitor therapy, actually gives the T cells or your immune system a tool in order for the T cells to see past the mask.
Wow. Okay.
So this is how it does it. Okay.
Doc, can I'm going to give a different example from what Doc used mask. I'm going to use a security pass. All right. So what happens is that cancer cells produce this thing called a PD-L1 security pass. So every time they show the pass, the police will say, "Okay, you're safe. You can pass." So what we're gonna do in the ICI immunotherapy is that they will invalidate or cancel this pass that the cancer cell has, so that when the cancer cell shows the pass, it goes, no, your pass doesn't work. The police will still go after the cancer cell. Can we explain it this way also?
Yes, it's exactly the thing.
All right, okay,
exactly
that's
how
great.
It works, okay? So this is just to show you on its
Picture,
main
in the
mechanism,
picture.
no? In the picture, its main mechanism on how it works actually inside the body. So when the tumor cells, when the T cells go to the tumor cells, okay?
They need to bind.
They need to bind first.
Oh, that means they need to connect with the cancer cell.
They need to connect with the cancer cells.
So as they come close, the cancer cell takes out their security pass.
Yeah.
I'm one of you. All right.
Okay, T cells will now ignore. Now, when you are now equipped with this,
the ICI therapy, you can see in the picture that we have on the screen, what happens? You block the security pass, invalidate, and then what happens? The T cell connects with your cancer tumor, attacking your cancer tumor. Wow, that's very easy to understand. All right, very easy to understand. So that's how ICI immunotherapy works.
Yes.
Okay.
Actually, this type of treatment strategy actually works wonders.
Oh, it's a very effective type of immunotherapy.
Yes. If some of you are really well read about the new things in cancer treatments, there is this thing recently, dostarlimab. Okay, so dostarlimab is a type of immune checkpoint inhibitor drug. No, so they use this dostarlimab to treat advanced unresectable and metastatic colorectal cancer patients.
Wow, that's really
very
difficult.
Yeah, very difficult. All the patients got well.
Oh, 100%.
100%
Oh, that is
remission.
good news, right? That
Okay?
is good news.
This is how effective it is.
Doc, there are things that we can do that will affect the effectiveness of such treatment. So even if a drug is 100% effective, you could do things that will slow it down. You could do things that will make it more effective and see results even faster. So help us understand what are the factors that will affect ICI therapy.
Okay, so here is one of the factors that can mitigate its effectiveness. Okay, so one main cause of poor response is the absence of T cells or effective T cells.
Okay, so basically you cancel their security pass, but your soldier is weak.
It's weak, yes.
Alright, so now the security pass of the cancer doesn't work anymore, but the cancer is like, come. Even if the policeman punches him, it's not knocking out the cancer cell. So what is causing the policeman or the T cells to be so weak?
Okay, so sometimes no PD-1 blockade or ICI therapy can make the T cells weak. It's a double-edged sword. So sometimes this happens, sometimes it don't. No, so when the time that it makes your immune system weak, okay, this is what happens to the T cells. Okay, so I have to explain the following concept to you so that you understand on how we can mitigate this. Okay, because of course if it works, I mean, then well and good, but what if it doesn't? So this is what happens.
This is what happens when you go for ICI treatment and you are not getting the result that you're supposed to get. All right, and what's the cause? This is the cause.
Okay, so first let us establish T cells. In order for them to be able to kill the tumor cells, they have to be activated. Okay, so how do they get activated? We'll discuss in the following webinars. Okay, so let's just simplify it. Okay, when the T cells become activated, they shift their metabolism to glycolysis.
Okay,
so also to avoid dying, so avoid the T cells from dying, they express PD-1, okay, and shift their metabolism to fatty acid oxidation. So in order for them to live longer, they shift their metabolism to fatty acid oxidation. Okay, so remember that. Okay, take note of that. So when T cells gets on fatty acid oxidation and lives longer, sometimes they sacrifice their ability to kill the cancer cells. Okay, so by using immune checkpoint inhibitors, by blocking PD-1, you will now reactivate the T cells, okay, so that it becomes toxic to the tumor cells again. However, the downside of this is the T cells will now die faster. Okay? Now, when this happens, they shift their metabolism to glycolysis again.
Yeah.
Okay.
And what happens then is, because the T cells are dying faster, even though they are more effective, the result of your ICI treatment is it's not the standard expectation.
Yes.
Because there's a complication. Doc, can I try to explain that scientific thing that you explained? Okay,
sure.
Let's go. Here we go. So imagine your T cells is like some it's a quiet soldier, right? So, but the moment for it to be activated, it goes crazy, it goes berserk, it goes right? But when it goes they go into this process called glycosis. So it's burning a lot of energy, but it's very active, okay, and it's very effective to kill cancer cells. However, if you do this, the T cell will die because it will until it's dead, right? Until it burns out all its energy. So when they can't find anything to fight, they want to preserve themselves so that they can be there longer to watch out for enemies. So they shift to this thing called, where they go into fatty acid oxidation. So they calm down. Okay, because they calm down, they live longer. But because they are calm, they're not very good fighters. So here's the dilemma, right? You either be very good at fighting, or you are very calm, you live longer, but you're not very effective at killing the cancer cell. So what the ICI treatment does is that it actually blocks the PD-1 and it actually reactivates it. Makes your calm soldiers go crazy again. But the other downside to it is the moment they go crazy, they also start dying because they expend all the energy.
Yeah,
so it's
correct.
a double-edged sword. On one side it's good, on the other side it's not so good.
Yes.
So perhaps that's one reason why your ICI treatment is
sometimes
mixed
it doesn't
signals.
Work. Yeah, mixed signals. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So it's because of this balance that it's hard to find the right balance. So instead, so the solution is, can we make the T cells go and yet still live longer?
Yes. So how do we get the best of both worlds?
Yes.
This treatment that they did is PPAR agonist treatment.
Okay,
So-
it's not our Simply Nature PPARs, but it's the same mode of action. It's an actual drug, right?
Yes. So bezafibrate is actually a PPAR agonist.
Alright.
So bezafibrate treatment enhance the fatty acid oxidation. Okay. So now you get very
You got
your
T cells,
but they live longer.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
So now they are able to kill more cancer cells.
So now they are like samurai T cells. You know, they are crazy with their sword, but they are calm like a samurai. So they live longer. Okay.
Okay. And the good thing is, Simply Nature PPARs also activates. It's also a PPAR agonist, so it activates the same pathway.
So here it is, right? So we talked about that you're going for very expensive ICI immunotherapy treatment. To make it more effective, you will be on the bezafibrate treatment together. Now, imagine you're eating, your dietary intake, right? You are taking PPAR tablets. You are going to increase the effect similar to the bezafibrate treatment. So you're going to, in addition to the drug to support ICI immunotherapy, your PPAR tablets is also doing the same thing. Your PPAR extracts is going to do it even more powerfully than the tablets. So there you go, Doc. Thank you. Even with advanced cancer treatment, cutting edge, there is still something you can do in your eating, in your lifestyle, in your supplements that can support your advanced, expensive treatments. Doc, that is so encouraging. However, what about other diets that people take? Apart from PPAR agonists, PPAR tablets, PPAR protocols, what about the other tools like keto diet, high protein, high fiber? How does this affect immunotherapy?
Yeah, okay. So the different dietary patterns, okay, you can also use these 3 dietary patterns, namely ketogenic diet, a protein restricted diet, and a high fiber diet. However, of course, we know that there are benefits, with each of these dietary patterns on the effect of ICI therapy. However, of course, we have to realize that there are downsides to each. Okay, so first let's talk
start
about
at keto.
ketogenic.
So keto is something
diet.
everybody's
Okay.
excited about for weight loss.
Yes.
And we told everybody, don't go on a long-term keto diet, because keto diet is a therapeutic diet.
Yes.
It is not a living diet. All right.
Okay.
So
Correct. Okay.
as a therapeutic diet, what does it do for ICI treatment?
So if you go on a ICI therapy and a ketogenic diet at the same time, you actually increase your T cell killing capability. Okay. Now, this will also help you overcome the immune escape mechanisms. And there is a specific bacteria inside your gut that can ameliorate therapeutic response.
What does the word ameliorate mean?
It can help the therapeutic response to ICI. It can make it more effective.
Okay, ameliorate means to enhance.
Yes, it's to enhance.
All right.
Okay, so take note of this specific bacteria. Okay, so don't forget this. All right.
Akkermansia
Muciniphila.
Wow. Okay, the word's flashing on your screen right now.
And lastly, one benefit of the ketogenic diet is it can also re-establish the therapeutic response in conditions under which ICI therapy alone or combination therapy fail to reduce the tumors, fail to reduce tumor growth.
So basically, if the drug is not working, going on a keto diet might make the drug work again.
Yeah.
Okay, so I think that's one of the things about cancer. Sometimes you take a therapy, it's working very well, then suddenly it's not working. So trying a keto diet could be one way you jumpstart the whole process again. No guarantees though.
Yeah, no guarantees though, because
but it could be an option
yeah,
you
can
can
be an
explore,
option.
and it
Yes.
works sometimes.
However, a ketogenic diet will only work this way if you are on immune checkpoint inhibitor therapy.
Okay, so don't do it if you are on other different types of immunotherapy. this is not a go-ahead signal to say, yeah, I'm going on a keto diet. So still be very careful.
Yeah.
Again, I'll advise you to go for a consult with a lifestyle doctor who knows what they're doing, right? So that he prescribe this to you correctly.
Okay,
Why? Because it's downsides.
There are downsides to a ketogenic diet, mainly these factors. Okay, so take a look at them. These factors you would not want.
Wow, it does the reverse. It increases your cancer progression. That means your cancer grows even more aggressively. That's the last thing you want to do.
Okay, so next is, let's go on the opposite side. A ketogenic diet is high protein,
high fat
diet. Okay,
so let's go the other side, low protein.
Let's try to restrict the protein. Okay, now why did this concept of a protein restricted diet come up? Okay, because long-term studies show that a high protein diet is linked to tumor progression and overall mortality. So you'll die early, you'll increase your chances of dying, and then you'll increase your chances of making your cancer worse. Okay, with a high protein diet. Now they did the opposite. So a dietary protein restriction was associated with lower tumor incidence, lower mortality risk, and inhibited tumor growth. Okay, and here's another interesting fact. No, inhibition of this enzyme, no, arginase or arginine synthesis, suppressed the proliferation of tumor cells, and inhibited certain T cells in the immune system which suppress other T cells. Okay, and surprisingly, resveratrol is one of the arginase inhibitor. Resveratrol is found where?
Pipa Plus tablets.
Yes.
And not only that, it's not only resveratrol, it's the full spectrum of grape skin polyphenols, of which resveratrol is only one.
Yeah.
So I would like to say, here the research says resveratrol is agonist inhibitor. It's always good, which is why we are not the drug, we are the support, right? If you want to think about it this way. That's why Doc Jansen always promotes, let's take the whole food, so that we come together with everything that comes together naturally with the resveratrol, you take it too, so that it will work better, more comprehensively in your life.
Now, if you are thinking, okay, why don't I go on a protein restricted diet? However, how do I do it?
Yeah.
Okay? So this might be a more simple approach that you can do. What if it's a high fiber diet?
Yeah, because cancer patients, if they grow thin, right, their doctors always encourage them to go on take protein supplements. So it's like a contradiction if you go on a low protein diet and then your doctor telling you to put on some weight. So a better solution apart from keto so it's high protein, high fat, keto, low protein. There's something else, the third option.
Yes, a third option would be a high fiber diet. So a high fiber diet is the diet that I always advocate for. So it's a whole food plant-based diet. So why? It's because a high fiber diet lowers the risk of developing cancer in the first place. No? So something that can prevent cancer is also something that you can use to kill cancer.
Yes,
okay?
Or at least to manage it,
at
to
least
slow it down.
So why is it so? It's because fiber can physically dilute the carcinogens in a large amount of stool.
Wow.
Fiber is fermented by your gut microbiome to form short-chain fatty acids like butyrate. Now, butyrate can enhance the generation of antigen-presenting cells like dendritic cells.
Oh wow.
Okay. It can enhance your T cell memory function. So when your T cells recognize the tumor,
they will remember it again.
They will remember. They can recognize it again. They will be able
to.
That
is very helpful. That is why you have booster shots for your COVID-19 vaccine.
Yes.
So because your COVID-19 vaccine is losing memory. So if you take fiber, you will cause your T cells, which again is your soldier cells. It's like a booster shot, right? It keeps their memory fresh.
Now, here's an evidence, okay? Melanoma patients, stage 4 melanoma patients with a high fiber diet were 5 times more likely to respond to immune checkpoint inhibitor therapy compared to those on a low fiber diet.
5 times.
5 times.
And if your cancer responds to ICI therapy is very effective. So you don't want to be the group of people who does not respond to ICI therapy. So you increase your chances of ICI working for you by as high as 5 times simply by having more fiber in your diet.
Correct.
So who says what you eat doesn't affect the medication that you take. It obviously does, right?
It obviously does. Now, remember a while ago, I made you wrote down the specific bacteria that is increased when you go on a ketogenic diet. Okay, the same bacteria is actually elevated, or it's actually proliferated by a high fiber diet. So Akkermansia is a very well studied. It's actually a lot of researchers are studying this bacteria to to be a supplement or to be an adjunct treatment for those who are undergoing immune checkpoint inhibitor therapy.
Wow, I've got to talk to our AD Pro specialist, and perhaps we can come up with a natural supplement from this.
Okay. Actually, there are a lot of bacteria, who proliferate with a high fiber diet, because a high fiber diet is actually prebiotics. Okay?
Because fiber feeds your probiotics. It feeds a good bacteria.
Okay, so here's the question that I will ask you. Would it be better to just supplement with probiotics or go on a high fiber diet?
That's an interesting question. But we're not going to answer it today. Alright, we're going to leave that with you, because right now I see your questions popping up on our screens. So tune in as we go to the second part of ICI treatment next week. Today, let's go straight into our Ask Me Anything segment and answer your questions.
Go.
Good evening, everybody. My name is Sheila, and you are now in the Q&A, or what we call the AMA Ask Me Anything portion. You are watching another episode of Simply Health webinar brought to you by Simply Nature. This is actually our last episode for 2022. And first of all, we would just want to say thank you for staying with us all throughout the year with our webinars. Like I said a while ago, we are now in the AMA portion, or the Ask Me Anything portion, and I can see that questions are coming in. I'm sure that you have learned so much from our two gentlemen who shared our topic for tonight, which is how to make your immunotherapy more effective. So without further ado, I'd like to call on first our of course, very nice doctor, our lifestyle medicine doctor, Dr. Jansen Calalan, to answer all our questions. Hi, Doc Jansen. Good evening.
Hello, Sheila. Hello, everyone. Good evening to all of you. Thank you for watching our lecture for tonight. Also, I hope you were enlightened about immunotherapy. So that's just a glimpse. So about how immunotherapy can help the human body, specifically cancer patients, and how we can make immunotherapy more effective. Okay, so in the coming webinars that we're going to do, we're going to discuss more about immunotherapy, on its mechanisms, what it is, the side effects, etc. So stay tuned for those episodes. So yeah, Sheila, yeah.
Yeah, I just want to say, Doc, now last episode that we had, we got so many questions about treating ourselves during the holiday season, which I think was very, very helpful to all our patients. Okay, so for the first question for tonight, coming from Ms. Galene Spurter. Hi, I am 71 years old. I am always having cough and cold on and on, or maybe on and off. I am asthmatic, have maintenance. Can your product help me to make my immune system healthy?
Yes, definitely. So if you are asthmatic, I would surmise that the reason why you have frequent cough and colds is because of allergic reactions. It's not really because you get infected by a virus, a viral infection really very frequently. So although you are 71 years old, so of course age can make our immune system a little bit weaker as well. However, since you're asthmatic as well, asthma is a hypersensitivity reaction. So it's actually your immune system being on hyperactive, okay, a hyperactive immune system. So when you get exposed to allergens, the way you manifest allergies through asthma. Okay, so even at 71 years old, I think you still have a very strong immune system at that. Okay, but yeah, one of the reasons why you might be having frequent cough and colds is because it's an allergic reaction. Okay, now of course, Of course, you have to still continue taking your maintenance meds, no? If you have inhalers, if you have antihistamines, if you have steroids, then you still have to continue taking those. Because if you don't, then the asthma flares might become too frequent when it attacks. Okay, and another one, the severity of attacks might be so bad. Okay, so you still need it to manage the symptoms. Okay. However, of course, the question is, what can we do so that the frequency of attacks get lessened? And is there something that we can do to prevent attacks? Yes and yes. Okay? So the things that you have to do when it comes to asthma is, number one, is to manage the hyperactive immune system. Okay? So what are the things that you can do? Diet. A plant-based diet is the appropriate diet to manage asthma attacks. Okay, so it can lessen attacks of asthma. Second, if you can tolerate exercise, then it would be better if you also do moderate intensity exercises like brisk walking, like cycling. However, if you have something what we call as exercise-induced asthma, then it might be in your best interest to avoid exercising for the meantime. So just do light exercises like light walking. So light walking is like walking inside the mall, walking in the park. Okay. Also, what are the other things that you can do? So supplementation is also one. So like Simply Nature PPARs. PPAR agonists are actually immunomodulators, or by immunomodulator, it modulates the immune system. So if you need the immune system to be hostile to the virus or to the bacteria, then it will be hostile to the virus and bacteria. But when the time comes that you need the immune system to tone down, it will be able to tone down itself. So that is what an immunomodulator does. Okay, so it's actually what PPAR agonist does for the body. And the beauty here is that Simply Nature PPARs is actually made from microalgae. So the PPAR agonist of Simply Nature PPARs can be found inside a microalgae. Okay, and the beauty of it is that the microalgae is also a superfood. No? So it's really packed with antioxidants, all the polyphenols that you can find in other plant foods. You can also find in microalgae. So microalgae would actually be one of the perfect supplement that you can take. Also, if you have metabolic diseases, because usually for asthma, obese individuals can be more prone to asthma as well. Even patients who have metabolic syndrome, okay, like diabetes, hypertension, so these people can have are more prone to asthma as well. So these diseases are interrelated. Okay, so there you have
Excellent.
it.
Thank you, Doc. This is actually a very good question because it's a season of cold and cough right now, and I have a question. These tips that you have given, Doc Jansen, these are also good for kids, right? Those kids who have asthma.
Yes, absolutely. So the asthma in kids and the asthma in adult is the same disease mechanism. Okay, it's just that different ages. Okay. Now, for the asthma in kids, you can also use Simply Nature PPARs for them. Okay, but again, they would still need to be on their medications. It's just that what the benefit of Simply Nature PPARs is it would be able to lessen the flares, or it can prevent the flares. Okay. The reason, one of the reasons also why it can do so, it's because it has an influence on the gut microbiome as well. So there's influence of there is a direct influence of the gut microbiome on the immune system. Okay, so the gut microbiome is actually the link why a plant-based diet is so good for asthma, and not just asthma. It's also good for atopic dermatitis. So atopic dermatitis and asthma has the same disease mechanism. It's just that it manifests on different organs. So for atopic dermatitis, it's on the skin. For asthma, it's in your respiratory system. Okay. Now for the reason why, okay, if you go on a high fiber diet, you feed, okay, a high fiber diet have a lot of prebiotics. Okay, so the prebiotics is the food of the probiotics. Okay, so if you feed the good bacteria or the probiotics inside your gut microbiome, these good bacteria would be able to produce short-chain fatty acids, like what I just mentioned in the lecture, no? So the short-chain fatty acids, the butyrate, have immunomodulatory effects as well. So it can tone down the immune system when it needs to be toned down, and it can also make the immune system hostile to foreign invaders, to cancer cells when it needs to. Okay, so that's why it's very important to have a high fiber diet. Now, PPARs is also an immunomodulatory supplement, or has immunomodulatory capability. So it does the same thing. Okay, so you can actually begin supplementing with Simply Nature PPARs as well. Okay.
Thank you, Doc. That's good news. Good news for our first question that we have tonight. Thank you. All right. So for the next question coming from Miss Nini Parachina. Okay. Are all natural peanut butter okay with no added sugar okay to be taken by cancer patients?
Yes. Peanut butter is actually one of the processed foods that it retains. One of the processed foods that's able to retain the nutrients, no, from the whole food. Okay, so the whole food of peanut butter is what? Nuts. Okay, peanuts. Okay, so when you crush peanuts, when you turn it to peanut butter, when you process it to become peanut butter, you retain all the nutrients of the whole food, which is peanuts. Okay, so peanut butter actually, there are a lot of studies about peanut butter, no? So for the whole food peanuts, if you eat one handful every day, okay, humans can maximize, we can maximize our lifespan. Actually, some studies actually even show that we can extend our lifespan when we eat peanuts.
With peanuts?
Okay, yeah. So even though we process peanuts, the whole food peanuts, to peanut butter, the peanut butter can also have the same effect. So the peanut butter can also extend our lifespan. So that's one of the beauty of peanut butter. Okay.
Thank you, Dr. Jansen. Okay, another question coming from Miss Dolly. What will happen if I just started last week with my Arimidex? She forgot I'm estrogen positive.
What will happen if you just started last week? It's good that you already started your Arimidex, okay? So just continue taking your Arimidex. But I'm not sure what you are asking about. What will happen?
Okay.
Like?
Sorry. Okay, here's the. My uncle forgot to give me Arimidex as hormonal therapy last August. So she started the Arimidex last week, but I think her doctor or her oncologist forgot that she's an estrogen positive. Are we expecting any side effects?
Okay. So you're asking if the delay in treatment would have any significant effects later on. Actually, no. So as long as you're already started on Arimidex, take it as prescribed by your onco, then you would be able to get the benefits of being on Arimidex. Okay?
Thank you, Dr. Jansen. Okay, another question coming from Miss Lilibet Alba. Hi, Miss Lilibet, our of course Filipina awesome viewer. Okay, is PPARs okay even if the patient is already under immunotherapy?
Yes. So one of the beauties, no, actually, I think this is, we're going to be discussing the influence of PPAR therapy on immunotherapy in the upcoming episodes. Yeah. But the short answer is yes. It's yes, no? So how does PPAR agonist health immunotherapy like ICI therapy, it can make the ICI therapy more effective. How? It's because PPAR agonists can increase the PD-1 receptor, PD-L1 receptor in the cancer cell. So if the cancer cells have more PD-L1 receptor, then once you are on the ICI therapy, once you are on the immunotherapy, the immune checkpoint inhibitor therapy, then a small dose of immune checkpoint inhibitor therapy would be able to kill much more cancer cells. Okay, it would be able to tag more cancer cells in that way. Okay, so that's one of the benefits. Another benefit is one of the side effects of immune checkpoint inhibitor therapy or immunotherapy is it has autoimmune side effects. So its side effects actually have or the side effects of immunotherapy when it manifests, it's like autoimmune diseases. And the beauty of PPAR agonists is that the beauty of it is that it manages the side effects of it manages the autoimmune diseases as well. Okay, so that's the beauty of it.
Okay. Hi, sorry, dropping in right now. Doc Jansen, so sorry. That's why it's so good to have a tag team. Yeah. Hi everyone. We're so glad that you're all here and that Doc Jansen, thank you so much. That we can. I'm so happy that we can keep our commitment, even on so near to the end of the year. We are still here for you guys. Yeah.
Yes, everybody, I just want to introduce to you all, of course, our CEO of Simply Nature and PPAR's expert from Singapore, Mr. Sean Lim, to also help out in answering all of our questions for tonight, which is our last episode, once again, for 2022. There you go. Okay, so for the next question that we have here, coming from Ms. Rhea Gawanson, who else can take the PPAR's liquid aside from patients undergoing chemo and radiation?
Who else? Okay. There's a lot of people who can even take it. Actually, even healthy individuals. I think Mr. Sean Lim here, even though he doesn't have any illnesses or any diseases, he's taking PPAR liquid.
I do. Just not for no reason though. Normally, I take it if I really feel like I'm sick, I'm coming down with something. Then I do take it. I actually know of a few clients. I call them clients and not patients because they take PPAR liquid as what's that called? Red Bull. As an energy drink. All right. So these are people who work under very stressful environments, and obviously they are very successful individuals because every vial of our liquid is not the same price as Red Bull. Okay, to be able to afford to drink PPAR liquids as Red Bull, you have an idea at what level of society and how serious their responsibilities are. So so definitely from metabolic syndromes to even some very difficult to explain medical conditions where the doctors are not sure what's wrong. Sometimes there are many medical conditions where they cannot define the sickness because conventional medicine defines sickness with symptoms. But it's really hard to define an illness if it's 6 of your organs being weak but not damaged. And in conjunction, they create all sorts of symptoms in your body that doesn't fall into any category, for example. And that's where our natural protocols could be something that you can try to see if it can alleviate or improve your condition.
Okay, so also just to answer your question, so what are other diseases where Simply Nature PPAR liquid is applicable? Okay, let's start from head to toe.
Wow, comprehensive answer.
You're in for a treat tonight.
So, stroke patients, number 1. Number 2, patients who have retinopathies, hypertensive retinopathy or diabetic retinopathy. These people can take Simply Nature PPAR liquid. Next, let's go a little bit down towards your neck. In the neck, you can have your thyroid.
Yes.
Definitely thyroid. Patients who have thyroid cancer, thyroid nodules, Simply Nature PPAR liquid would also be okay for them. Next, let's go a little bit down to your heart. Patients who have heart disease, especially coronary artery disease, so that's when you have blockages in your heart. You can also take Simply Nature PPAR liquid to try and reverse the blockage. But of course, it's very important that you do it also with the proper dietary pattern. So next, let's go to the lungs. Okay, in the lungs. So aside from cancer, if you have asthma, definitely you can also take Simply Nature PPAR liquid. What else? COPD as well, chronic obstructive pulmonary disease, even emphysema. Next, let's go a little bit down. In your liver.
Oh wow!
If you have fatty liver disease, if you have liver cirrhosis, Simply Nature PPAR liquid would also do wonders. Next, let's go to next is the intestine. So for the intestine, that you would have probably irritable bowel syndrome, ulcerative colitis. Simply Nature PPARs would also do wonders for those two diseases. What else? What did I miss? The kidneys. If you have CKD,
yes,
definitely Simply Nature PPAR liquid can be helpful. The thing is, if you have CKD, your potassium might be in the very high level. So I would recommend the powder instead of the liquid. However, I have had patients who are on
liquid
3 vials of liquid per day on CKD, and they were able to tolerate it.
Okay.
Potassium levels are still okay, even after a month of taking liquid
3 vials a day. Wow.
Yes. So I think it would be quite safe for patients on with CKD as well. But I would prefer powder.
Yeah.
Kidney. So let's go a little bit down. Next. Okay, digestive system, that's it. Next, let's go to the reproductive system. For women, if you have endometriosis, if you have PCOS, polycystic ovarian syndrome, that's also linked to metabolic issue. Yes, Simply Nature PPAR liquid can also help. For males, prostate cancer.
Yes, prostate.
Benign prostatic hyperplasia. It would also be able to help males who have such disease. It's because benign prostatic hyperplasia is also linked with metabolic issues. Okay, so the reason why a male have an enlarged prostate is because of some metabolic pathways, illness disorders. Usually it's linked to diabetes, high blood cholesterol, high triglycerides, so these things. What else? Let's go to the peripheral vascular diseases. So if you have ulcers because of some blockages in your lower extremity, blockages in the artery, then Simply Nature PPARs would also be able to help you. Because number one, it can reverse the blockages, so it can restore blood flow. Number two, it can help the skin or it can help the area with wound to recover much faster, heal much faster. Okay, so what else? What else did I miss out? I think that's it.
Wow.
From head to toe.
And to everyone who's wondering, how can one extract do so many things, is because if you understand how it works to modulate inflammation, and inflammation causes all these health issues that Doc Jansen has spoken about. It activates at the gene level your immune system response, so it can correct immune system irregularity, which is like lupus, immunodeficiencies and diseases. It promotes healing. It's a great aid to a few organs, especially the liver. So one unorthodox use of the liquid extract, it's a very expensive way to do it, but one very powerful and effective way is it can get rid of your drunkenness and hangover very quickly. All right, so if you drink a bottle of Tanduai, all by yourself, okay, and if you quickly drink a vial of liquid PPARs, you would sober up very quickly and you will wake up tomorrow without a hangover. All right, so that just goes to show you how much it assists your liver in metabolizing toxins, and in this case, just to remove alcohol from your system. Okay, you'll still be dehydrated though. All right, so yeah. Doc, thank you from the head to toe. Okay, last one actually, since you're talking about toe. One of our doctors had a patient who had warts on his feet. Right? I think I shared this with you, Doc.
Yes.
Warts. Right? So it was so painful that the patient can't walk. And our liquid PPARs is our most expensive protocol. So I was very surprised that a person would spend so much money for warts on the feet. But apparently, he really can't walk. It's so painful. And after taking, his warts were gone. Okay, so I really can't answer how that happened. I need to talk to that doctor more, but he's actually an expert. He's a PhD in biochemistry. So when he chose to use our PPAR, he had his reasons. But I haven't had a chance to talk to him about the science behind it. Yeah. All right, there we go.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Doc Jansen. Right, we actually started off with the good news a while ago, and we are all the way good news tonight. Okay. For the next question coming from Mr. Jonathan Dino. I'm 43 years old, 5'6", in height, 46 kilograms. I would like to gain muscles and weight of 64 kilograms.
Wow.
I have a weak appetite because of digestive issues and anxiety. He also mentioned, how about for pain and inflammation from head to feet? Always feeling weak and throat problems, nervousness, fatigue, blurred vision, GERD, sinusitis, resistant to antibiotics. How can we help?
Okay, I think the best way on how we can help you is for you to go for a consult. Okay, because it seems that you have a lot of issues, so we have to address each and every one of these issues, and I would need laboratory tests already, laboratory results. For me to really help you. Okay, but just to give you
a quick, at least something to start on.
Yeah, something to start on. Go on a plant-based diet.
Okay.
Eat healthily right on the get-go. If you cannot do it, then start eating plant foods. Okay.
More plant foods.
More plant
at least
foods.
start with more plant foods.
At least that one.
Yeah.
Number 2, start exercising. If you hate exercise, then at least move.
Walk.
Okay, walk around, walk inside the mall. Start to get active again. Number 3, and usually it's this: sleep. Usually when you lack sleep, that's when all these symptoms come out.
Yeah, that's my problem.
So it's usually simple, no? It's usually as simple as these 3 things. Anything beyond this, then I have to go and see your laboratory results already, because there might be something really going on already.
Yes, so this question is a very good question, Jonathan. We might be able to detect something. If there's anything more serious happening, meeting Doc Jansen could be a real lifesaver, right? So do go there, and then do go for the diagnostics that he will recommend to you. And I think we've mentioned it many times on this program. Diagnostics are surprisingly cheap.
Yeah.
I think nothing more than 1,500, 2,000 pesos. Usually, even blood works are only a few hundred pesos.
Yes.
So please don't be scared about that. It's actually very affordable. Don't worry about it. All right. So go for your consult.
Yep.
Yes. Speaking about consult, for those who wish to have a consult with Doc Jansen, the link to schedule to see him is on the description box and also on the comment section. Also, if you wanted to have a consult, you can also type in how to consult. We'll get in touch with you after the program individually. Okay. So for the next.
Sorry, I saw a follow-up question after Doc Jansen had given what PPAR can be used for. Someone actually asked if our PPARs is good for chemotherapy. Can it be used for kidney diseases? So just to reiterate, in case she missed it, yes, we even have cases of patients who are on dialysis go off dialysis, but that's a case-to-case basis. It depends on what caused you to be on dialysis in the first place. We have many also cases of patients who are about to go on to dialysis, and usually when you start dialysis, it's very hard to reverse it. It's something that once you start, you probably spend the rest of your life doing it, right? So they were able to reverse it, and they avoided going to dialysis. So just to indicate to you how effective it can be for kidney issues, okay?
By the way, during the part of reproductive system, you weren't able to mention about the myoma. Myoma is also good.
Yes,
correct. Is also good.
Correct.
Myoma.
Correct.
Thank you, Doc. Thank you, Sir John. Alright, another question coming from Miss Myra Molina. Good evening po. Okay lang. Is it okay to drink glutathione or melatonin for cancer patients?
Yes, it's okay. Glutathione, taking glutathione or melatonin, if you have cancer, won't do you any harm. However, if you really want to get the benefit, I'm afraid taking glutathione or orally won't have any benefits, because if you take glutathione orally, your intestine or your digestive system will destroy the glutathione and separate it in individual amino acids, so you won't really get the benefit of glutathione. However, for melatonin is a different one, because melatonin can help make your sleep, increase the quality of your sleep. Okay? Yeah, so for me...
Doc, why would a cancer patient want to take glutathione?
Usually glutathione is an antioxidant, right?
Okay.
So usually for cancer thrives in a low-grade inflammatory environment. So that's one thing that they are trying to mitigate. However, the problem here is, although glutathione would definitely help some cancer patients, especially when they are undergoing chemotherapy, the problem there is the mode of administration. If it's orally taken, sorry, your stomach acids, your digestive enzymes will destroy the glutathione. So glutathione, if you really want to receive glutathione, okay,
should be IV.
Should be IV.
Okay, another way you can boost glutathione levels in your body is simply going on a PIPA protocol, because your body produces its own glutathione.
Yes.
So just eating right, adjusting your lifestyle a little, fortify it with even PIPA tablets, just the tablets, will generally boost your body's ability to produce more glutathione on its own. And that's always a better approach. Yeah.
Thank you, Dr. Jansen. Thank you, Sir Sean. Okay, another question. This question is coming from our YouTube channel viewer.
Oh, right, that's great.
Okay. All right, so can PPARs be taken by my father who's bedridden under oxygen and NGP with bed sore 4th degree? He is under home treatment since October 2022 and low albumin and white blood.
Yes, definitely. He can take Simply Nature PPAR liquid. So you're right. The recommended product for him would be liquid, since he is already on NGT. Okay, so it's very easy to give. And I would also need to know why he has this case in the first place. Is it because of some metabolic reasons? That if it's something metabolic, then I think Simply Nature PPAR liquid would be a big help.
I'm very excited for this for this question, because we have outstanding results for cases of patients that are in such a condition, be it from cancer, or even I have a personal experience where this from Cebu, there was this gentleman whose father was in his 90s, and the father's problem was simply old age. It was a multiple organ failure. It's just getting old and the organs were just starting to fail. No real disease or no cancer, no disease. And he was in the ICU, and actually just giving liquid PPARs, the dad's condition actually improved. All right, so so please go for a consult so that Doc Jansen can know clearly and be able to assist you. Yeah, but it should be good news. Yeah.
Thank you, Sir Sean. Thank you, Dr. Jansen. Another question coming from Ms. Marita Desamero. For nasopharyngeal carcinoma, what is the required dosage of PPAR's liquid extract?
Oh, for Maritas, just for your information, Sheila's son was third or fourth stage.
Fourth stage nasopharyngeal cancer.
All right.
Dr.
So
Maya, sir.
he's now he actually celebrated his full remission, right? Yeah. So now cancer free. Doc Jansen, how would this patient approach this?
Yeah, 1 vial per day would be enough. Okay, 1 vial per day on an empty stomach. So that would be enough. Yeah. Okay.
All right. So there you got an answer. And speak to Sheila. She literally can share because her Dominic recovered from fourth stage nasopharyngeal carcinoma, right?
Definitely. Would love to. I would love to have that. Thank you. Okay. So another question coming from Ms. Keanu. Keanu Reeves, the name.
I like he's being what's that, mischievous. I like that.
Yeah. Okay. So the question I have intrahepatic cholangiocarcinoma. What should I take? Immunotherapy with durvalumab is very expensive, so I stopped it. My chemotherapy is cisplatin plus gemcitabine.
Okay, if you shied away from immunotherapy since it's so expensive, then since you are already on chemotherapy, cisplatin plus gemcitabine, I would recommend you Simply Nature PPAR liquid as well. Okay, because Simply Nature PPAR liquid really works well with cisplatin. Cisplatin is actually one chemotherapy drug where PPAR liquid was studied with. So definitely the liquid extracts, but if you really want to have a very specific protocol that I can recommend you, because there might be other things that we have to consider, then I suggest for you to go for a consult as well. But from the get-go, Simply Nature PPAR liquid would do wonders.
Yeah, I think it's very because for Keanu. Keanu, right? So for Keanu, I think because you are going for chemotherapy, it'll be wonderful for you to have a consult with Dr. Jansen, because there are other advice he can give you apart from the protocol that will help you manage your chemotherapy sessions better and get more results out of that. So do that next year, because next year is just 3 days from now.
3 days from now.
All right? Okay.
By the way, I just want to say that this is also the best time for you to suggest which topics would you like us to discuss here in our Simply Health. Okay? All right.
I just want to thank everybody who is still joining us with us at this time on the 29th of December. Most are on their parties, but because it's very encouraging for me and Dr. Jansen, and we are glad to keep to our promise that we are here every Thursday with everyone. Yeah.
Definitely. All right. Another question coming from Ms. Nini. Okay. What spices are good to be added on the food for cancer patients?
Oh, there are a lot. Oh my goodness. There are a lot. Actually, to give you the very short answer, it's all spices. You can use all spices for to include in the food of cancer patients. So if you want specific spices, that would be your garlic, your onions, your turmeric, your cayenne pepper, your thyme, oregano, what else?
So basically, everything on the spice rack is good for cancer patients.
Definitely,
right?
yes.
Yeah. Even cinnamon, right?
Yes.
But not cinnamon sugar. All right, because you want to cut on the sugar. Okay, yeah.
My mind is all over the place. I'm thinking about the spices in my kitchen. Okay, so the next question. Okay, can you have too much fiber in your diet? This is coming from Miss Lucas.
No. The more fiber that you include in your diet, the better. Okay, so there's no such thing as overload or fiber overdose.
Doc, connected with this question is this: if a person, like for example, takes a lot of high fiber diet, is it important to drink more water?
Yes. So usually one side effect of a high fiber diet, especially when you just shifted or when you are just beginning to incorporate a plant-based diet, is bloatedness.
Yeah.
Okay, so the reason why you become bloated is because your gut microbiome is adjusting to your new diet. So typically, when we are on our default diet, no, our gut microbiome adjusts to our diet, to the food that we eat. Okay, so there is this balance of good bacteria and bad bacteria. So typically, if you are on a animal-based diet, high fat, high in processed foods, usually the bad bacteria is more abundant than the good bacteria. Okay? Now, if you go on a high fiber diet, this balance shifts. Now, while the balance shifts, then of course you can develop gaseous, bloatedness because of a lot of gas that is being secreted by the good bacteria, because they're adjusting, the population is adjusting, right? But when the time comes that the adjustment has been done already, the bloatedness will go away. Okay, so there will come a time that you can handle a high fiber diet already like no problem. So how long does it take? Usually it's around 2 months, 8 weeks, 4 to 8 weeks. Okay, so it takes a while, but it goes away. So the key thing there is, when you are on this transition, when you are feeling bloated, very important, drink a lot of water. Okay, so that the fiber from the diet that you just ate, from the food that you just ate, gets flushed down much faster.
Yeah, and for people who take dietary fibers, like the common one that everybody finds is psyllium. Yes. You do need to drink sufficient water, because it can actually stop up your. Yes. It can act as an obstacle for your constipation instead. So you got to drink lots of water. How much water would be advisable?
If you are in a tropical country, I would advise 10 to 13 glasses of water.
Okay, that sounds a lot. Okay, just the key is just you don't sit down with 13 glasses in front of you. That's that's a water parade. Okay, no, don't do that. You just keep drinking non-stop throughout the day. Just because you're not thirsty, that doesn't mean you shouldn't drink water. Okay, a good indication when you have drink enough water is that your urine is clear.
Yes.
Okay, so if your urine is still yellow, you can drink more water. Okay.
Thank you, Sir Con. Thank you, Dr. Lance. Okay, another question. This is a good one coming from Ms. Sharon. People can be turned down for chemotherapy, right? But how about immunotherapy? Can I be turned down for immunotherapy?
Can the person be turned down? Can a person be not suitable for immunotherapy?
Yes.
Yeah.
Actually, we will discuss that on the third episode for immunotherapy. But just to give you a
teaser,
a sneak peek, yes, there are individuals who are not very good candidates for immunotherapy. Number one, individuals who have autoimmune disease. Any sort of autoimmune disease, you will not be a candidate for immunotherapy. Number two, if you have received organ transplant, if you are an organ transplant patient, meaning you received an organ from somebody else, okay, then you won't be a candidate for immunotherapy anymore.
And we will explain in the third lesson why people who receive organ transplant can't use immunotherapy. If you are interested to know, join us in the second Thursday of January. All right.
Thank you. All right. Next question coming from Ms. Michelle. Can I receive COVID vaccine while on immunotherapy?
Yes, definitely. Yeah. Okay. Now, the only time that that COVID vaccine have to be delayed is when you are immunosuppressed. Okay, when your immune system is weak. Like for example, cancer patient, you underwent chemotherapy, radiation therapy, then your white blood cell count goes down. Then COVID vaccine would have to be delayed, because if they inject you with COVID vaccine, the vaccine's efficacy will not be effective.
You won't catch COVID from it, right?
You won't catch COVID from it, but the vaccine that you got won't be effective. I mean, you won't get the necessary immune response from the vaccine. Okay, so that's the main reason. If you are receiving immunotherapy, that means you have a working immune system in the first place. Okay, so if you have a working immune system, if they give you a COVID vaccine, then it's perfectly fine. Okay, because you'll still mount the same immunity against COVID. Okay.
Thank you, Doc Jansen. Okay, another question coming from Mr. James. What to eat or topically apply to quickly grow hair back?
That's a very good question.
That's a good question. If you can find that answer, you have $1 billion product. Many people in the world want to grow hair, all right? Okay.
Okay. Actually, I have encountered one article that shows what you need to do in order for you to grow hair back. However, unfortunately, I did not read the article completely. Okay, so I think
we'll answer it next week.
Yeah, answer it next week on the next episode.
Okay, give Doc some time to find that article.
And, if it's interesting enough, I mean, if all our viewers want us to make one episode for hair growth, then sure thing. I mean, we'll do one.
Actually hair growth and nail growth, these are the final extremities in our body, right? It's a reflection of your overall health. And in TCM, it's a reflection of certain organs, how healthy your organs is. I think it's the spleen, if I'm not wrong. But I may be wrong here, so don't quote me on that. But yeah, so that would be interesting to know what particular nutrients will be positive for general hair growth, right?
But aside from nutrients, if you want to know a drug that can help you grow hair back, it's minoxidil.
Okay, there you go. Okay. All right. Hi, Nathan. Good to see you. Thank you, Nathan. You've been so regular ever since you joined us. So thank you for your support. Happy New Year, everybody. Yeah.
Yes, Happy New Year. Alright, so another question coming. What are the good sources of plant-based protein that can be easily found in the Philippine market?
That would be your nuts and legumes. So those are the highest. Those are the plant foods which have the highest amount of protein per calories.
Oh, it's not soya bean. Oh, soya bean is a legume. Sorry, it is a legume.
And nuts, but nuts would be much higher.
So we are okay. When we're taking nuts, it sounds so funny when I say that. When you're nuts, all right. Which are the nuts that are safe for us to eat? Do we eat salted nuts, caramelized nuts, baked nuts, toasted nuts, fried nuts? I mean, how would you recommend? And what type of nuts? Cashews, almonds, which would be easier or safe? Normally, what's available is peanuts, cashews, correct. And almonds.
Yeah,
right?
because not all nuts are created equal.
Okay, yeah.
For cancer patients, the best nuts would be these four.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Peanuts, almond, walnuts,
yes. Pecans.
Yes.
All right.
But the healthiest of them all, the nut that has the most anti-cancer properties, walnuts.
Walnut.
Yes, walnuts. Okay.
Oh, I want to tell everybody, walnut in I watched it. Well, okay, never mind. Walnuts are being used as medicine in traditional Chinese medicine. It's like treated like a medicine. It's not a snack. So wow, Doc Jansen, amazing. You mentioned that walnuts was the most anti-cancer.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Thank you. Thanks for sharing that one. So another question coming from
Lily takes pecans and walnut all the time.
Oh,
Lily, you're very good. It's like your whole life you've managed to adjust it to be anti-cancer. It's such a warrior.
And still also supporting us up until the end of the episode here.
Up to the end of the year. You're with us all the way to the end of the year.
Thank you. Okay, I just want to say hello to Miss Nessie Ocampo. Hello, thank you for joining us and watching us tonight. Okay. Another question coming from Miss Banji Padilla. What would you advise for cancer patients in remission to avoid recurrence?
Wow, that's a good question.
Very important is to avoid substance use. So alcohol, smoking, don't do anything of that. When it comes to food, avoid animal food products. Okay, especially the processed foods. Okay, processed meats, processed carbohydrates. Okay, processed carbohydrates would be your pastries, your fried foods, chips, junk foods. Okay, dairy as well. very important. Then avoid being sedentary when it comes to physical activity. So for cancer patients, so regardless if you have been diagnosed already or you have you are trying to prevent cancer or you are already on remission, physical activity is very important because once if you are physically active, you immediately increase your chances of survival. You decrease your chance of dying because of cancer. Okay, so with these, actually with just diet and physical activity alone, it will already be a big help. I mean, if you combine those two, you'll have at least 70% chance of lowering your chance of dying from cancer already. Okay.
So we actually have a specific episode on remission.
Yes.
So do check out our YouTube channel. Maybe Sheila or any one of our CROs can actually just put up the links and then you can take a look. Although I see one of your patients asking some clarifications that you told her to wait 45 minutes after chopping broccoli before cooking them.
Yes.
Is there a reason why?
Yes. There is a very important reason. Yes. Why do we wait
45 that's a
45
long
minutes,
time.
Yes, before we cook broccoli. It's because cruciferous vegetables, no, so not just broccoli. So
Cauliflower
vegetables, cauliflower,
Brussels
cabbage,
sprouts.
Brussels sprouts, kale. So these vegetables, when you chop them, okay, there is a enzyme that is secreted. So this enzyme, known as myrosinase, okay. So this enzyme, when it interacts with the vegetable itself, no, it produces the anti-cancer nutrient, which is called sulforaphane. Okay, so the problem here is myrosinase, the enzyme, is heat sensitive. So if you cook the vegetable, myrosinase will be destroyed.
So you need to give the time for the myrosinase to convert into the anti-cancer.
Sulforaphane first.
Okay.
Yes. Okay, because sulforaphane is actually heat resistant. So even if you cook sulforaphane,
I was about to ask that if after you have the sulforaphane, when you cook it, so it'll be protected. And this process starts when you cut the vegetable.
When you cut.
So if the vegetable is left on its own, it won't do the conversion.
It won't do the conversion.
So you got number one, you got to actually cut your broccoli, right? So you cut your broccoli, right? When you cut your broccoli, this process starts and it starts to morph into an anti-cancer enzyme or substance. And
now,
that's
Another question is, what if I eat it raw?
Yeah. Many people always say, they are cancer patients, they eat their vegetables raw.
Eating it raw will still produce the same effect. I mean, the myrosinase will not be destroyed.
Because it's no heat.
Yes, there's no heat. You just ate. So chewing the vegetable is similar to chopping.
Oh, that's why chewing is good.
Yeah. But of course, we are hygienic, right?
Okay,
we don't want dirty food. Come on, it's so yucky. So and of course, cancer patients. I mean, on a more serious note, we want to prevent infection among cancer
that's
patients
because
infection is one of the common reasons why cancer patients
have problems,
get hospitalized,
complications.
Get complications in the first place and die from complications. No, it's because of infection. So something that is highly preventable. Yeah. So we want to cook our food. Okay. The thing is here for cruciferous vegetables, if you cook them immediately, you destroy the myrosinase immediately, then you won't get a high enough sulforaphane. So 45 minutes is an approximate enough time for the sulforaphane levels to be high enough so that it can have a significant effect inside our body. Okay, so and here's another thing. The more you chop the broccoli, let's say for example, the broccoli, the more you chop it into smaller bits and pieces, the more sulforaphane you get.
Oh wow, okay, this is good. I was just having a how shall we say, strong discussion with my wife. Because or basically that means a little bit of an argument, right? Because because when we cook vegetables at home, I like to chop my vegetable up until very small bits. Because I find it easier to eat. Maybe I'm old or something, alright? But I always find when you eat pek chai, it's so long. it's hard to chew and bite, you know. So I like to cut my vegetables into really small. So that's actually a good thing. Yes, if I cut my carrots and broccoli, especially, yeah, okay, great. You see, I can go home and tell my wife, please chop the vegetables into tiny bits.
Don't worry, she's watching.
Oh, right, okay. Hi, dear.
Hi, Miss Jocelyn.
All right.
Okay, thank you. Just to echo what you said, so after cutting the broccoli and also the cauliflower, you have to wait 45 minutes before you can cook it.
There's a hack, actually. You don't have to wait 45 minutes, actually. What you can do is to put in mustard powder.
Mustard powder.
Yes, mustard, because mustard powder has myrosinase in it.
Also, you accelerate the process.
Yeah. So here's what you can do. Let's say, for example, you cannot wait 45 minutes because it's just too long. I mean, you're so hungry, you have to cook immediately. So it's okay. So after chopping the broccoli, cook it. So once it's cooked, put in mustard powder. Of course, wait for it to cool down. Put in mustard powder. So the mustard powder will act on the broccoli to produce the sulforaphane. Even if you eat the broccoli together with the mustard powder, it will still do the same thing inside your stomach. So
inside your stomach, it continues the process.
Yes, continues the process up until inside your
Okay, just so that we explore. Is the yellow mustard the same effect? So if I dip my broccoli in yellow mustard, am I going to
mustard sauce?
The mustard sauce, no. It's mustard powder, not mustard sauce, okay? Mustard powder, not the yellow.
Okay, you see, it's good that I asked the question. Many viewers will be thinking the same thing. Okay, I see someone. Myra's asking, how about fermented food? Is it okay to eat fermented food for cancer patients? The answer is probably yes, except for kimchi.
Yes.
All right.
Not all. So fermented foods, the only good fermented food for cancer patient is miso.
Miso.
It's only miso. The other fermented foods can cause gastric irritation, so it can actually increase your risk of developing stomach cancer. And gastric irritation itself, okay, so you can develop gastritis from eating them. So for me, if you're a cancer patient who are undergoing radiation therapy, chemotherapy, and your stomach is so sensitive, right? You are nauseous, you are vomiting. Please avoid fermented foods for the meantime. Okay?
What about mustard seed in our diet? This coming from our number one.
Mustard seed is also okay. Mustard seed
also okay. All right.
Thank you, Doc. Thank you, Darshan. Okay, I know Doc is always recommending plant-based diet. So Miss Larissa is asking, does animal food include seafood, Doc?
Yes, because seafood are animals, okay?
And Doc, to be more specific, shellfish is terrible for cancer patients, am I right?
Yes, especially shellfish among seafood.
So your prawns, your mussels, your oysters, these are the garbage collectors or garbage eaters of the ocean world, and they can be highly pollutive. They may have eaten lots of carcinogenic things as well, and it gets passed on to you. And it's very often that we eat shellfish less cooked. So yeah, there you go.
Just like my kid, Dominic is always telling me he hates shrimp because he said it's the insect under the sea.
He's right. He is right. Okay, he is correct. Shrimps are actually classified under insects.
Oh, a shrimp is an insect?
Yes, it is.
It's a sea insect.
It's a sea insect.
Wow. Okay.
Yes, so
see,
he is right about that.
Wow, that's why I remember Sheila. You were saying Dominic wants to be a scientist. Okay, he's getting his facts right. Yeah.
Oh, thank goodness. Right. Thank you, sir. Thank you, doctor. Next question coming from Ms. Renee. Are foods labeled organic more effective in lowering cancer risk?
Okay.
Not really.
I will say something about this one. Okay. 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 Number one, not all organic food labeled organic is really organic. Okay, so that's number one. Okay. Number two. Why do we even want organic foods in the first place? It is interesting to note, and I think I discussed this with Dr. Jansen when I first met him a few years ago. And it's been a long time since we had this conversation, because the nutritional level of our vegetables over the years has actually been dropping because of the way we cultivate our vegetables. from over farming, the land itself being depleted from nutrients, to hydroponics, to different using fertilizers and pesticides. This has actually severely impacted the nutritional value of vegetables. I think a good example would be an orange. I think oranges used to contain vitamin A now about 30 years ago, they don't contain vitamin A anymore. Something about is the way we grow them in orchards now. So one way to correct this whole, I guess, degradation of the quality of the vegetables is trying to use more organic means of growing the vegetables so that they will have more nutrients. Doc, I read a study somewhere that in general, truly organic vegetables have somewhere maybe about 15 to 25% more nutrients per gram than non-organic vegetables. But if they cost 3 times the price of organic, non-organic vegetables, then it's cheaper to just eat double the volume of vegetables than to buy an organic vegetable, right? So another reason why we buy organic vegetables is that we are trying to avoid insecticide and pesticide use, which is carcinogenic, not good for cancer patients. So that's my take. What do you think, Doc?
So it's true, no? What you said. I mean, the main reasons why we want organic food is to basically avoid preservatives, pesticides, insecticides. However, please keep in mind that animal food products, if you are, here's the thing. If you are trying to avoid vegetables and eat animal food products instead, because you know that insecticides, pesticides are sprayed on vegetables, then you are highly mistaken, because animal food products have a higher insecticide, pesticide content than vegetables.
Oh, let me guess why. Because the animal feed has pesticide and insecticide, and they don't bother to wash it as clean for animals than human. I mean, I wouldn't, right? I mean, if you're feeding your dog, you don't wash your vegetable with as much effort as for yourself.
Yes, correct. And on top of that, animal food products have are being fed antibiotics. So you are also, by eating the animal food products,
you're eating
also eating antibiotics in small amounts. And that's where the danger of antibiotic is. If you take in antibiotics in small doses, then when it promotes antibiotic resistance, because you are not able to kill the bacteria 100%. So the bacteria will develop immunity against the antibiotic, and the next time, the antibiotic will not work against the bacteria anymore. Okay, so this is where the antibiotic resistance is coming from. Okay, so well, let's go back to being organic, right? So how do you then, if you really want to eat plant-based, no, since it's more healthy, still more healthy, and you want to avoid pesticides, so you just have to clean your fruits and vegetables really well. So how do you clean them? Just washing it from running water by rubbing a little bit, no, on the surface, that would already be enough. You would be able to remove majority of the insecticides and pesticides already. Then what do you do then for those residues? So what you can do is soak your fruits and vegetables in a salted water bath, okay? Or you can have a vinegar bath, okay? So what is the
10%, right?
Yeah, the mixture. How do you create the
bath?
The bath. So 1 part salt to 9 parts water. So 10% salt. Okay. So imagine you have so that would be 9 cups of water to 1 cup of salt. So just soak it there for 20 minutes. Then once 20 minutes has elapsed, then just go and wash your fruits and vegetables again on running water.
You know, this is really important, especially for cancer patients who are eating raw. Because when I came back from Taiwan, I bought cherry tomatoes from Taiwan. Their cherry tomatoes taste more like cherries than tomatoes. It's really delicious, all right? But here was the scary part. I have Kangen water in my house, okay, just so that everybody knows, and then I soak it 4 times. The water still comes out yellow. That's how much pesticides was on the cherry tomatoes. And why I was so upset is because when I was buying the cherry tomatoes, I was tasting them, right? So obviously they were not washed. And then when I went home and I soaked the cherry tomatoes that I bought, after changing the water 4 times, the water that I pour out is yellow in color. I was like, oh my god, what did I eat when I was testing the cherry tomatoes? So don't be so kuriput and eat too much samples when you're trying these things, all right? Yeah, they're not washed clean, okay? So yeah, again, I just want to highlight for those who eat salads and raw vegetables, do wash them. You'll be surprised how much insecticide and pesticides there are. Yeah.
Thank you. Thanks for that tip. This is what we're talking about is really good because this weekend we're having our New Year celebration and we're going to prepare food. So this is the best way to do that. Okay. All right. So the next question that we have here. Okay. Can PPARs help with insomnia? Coming from Miss Ellen.
Oh, for insomnia, unfortunately, no. Is there some other way? Yeah, we have to first identify why you have difficulty sleeping in the first place, because there are a number of reasons why you have difficulty sleeping. So if you have difficulty sleeping because you have obstructive sleep apnea, then PPARs can help. Okay. Obstructive sleep apnea, because for obstructive sleep apnea, one factor there would be metabolic syndrome. If you are if you are a heavyweight,
heavy side,
you're more on the heavy side. If you're fluffy, okay, then losing weight would be very important. Once you lose weight, then the sleep apnea, the obstruction would be resolved. Then you'll now have your insomnia will be resolved. Okay. So that's just one example, okay? But for other things, we have to explore further. Okay?
Doc, I had a patient who took PPAR tablets for diabetes, and after 3 months, he came back to tell us very happily he didn't have to take Prozac anymore. Yeah, this is, but he didn't tell us he was on Prozac, okay? So which means he was depressive. So he was taking it for diabetes, but apparently it helped with his dopamine or happy chemicals. He stopped taking Prozac. So is that related metabolic, or would you wager or guess how that happened? And a related one, my very first client, she was very stressed. So stress was the main factor. She could not sleep unless she took 2 sleeping pills a night. After she took PPAR's tablet, and at the time she took the powder extract as well, she could sleep without sleeping pills. And she was going through tremendous stress. Was going through a divorce case. So how do any guess on these two?
There is a very well established study where microalgae has been used to manage depression.
Oh, depression.
Yes.
Okay. So yeah, it's true. Divorce case, maybe her stress is depression.
Yes.
All right. Okay.
So they found that microalgae, like specific strains of chlorella, microalgae have very or improved symptoms of depression. So I think it might be one of the reasons.
That's the reason.
So because
the Prozac is for depression.
Yes.
Okay.
Prozac is for depression. Okay. Now because Simply Nature PPARs is made from microalgae. Okay.
All right.
That's the reason. So when this patient began taking Simply Nature PPARs, so I think there must be something, aside from metabolic. I think in his brain chemistry as well. Yeah. Something might have triggered. Then
and even the high fiber content will help with serotonin levels.
Yes, serotonin level, because a plant-based diet can also help mood disorders like depression. If you add these things together, his mood might have improved on its own.
Wow, yeah, that's why no more Prozac.
Yes, so that's why I'm feeling okay. I mean, let's try, let's see if I become depressed again without Prozac. So that's why he stopped taking Prozac. And I hope up until now, he's off Prozac.
Yeah, and his diabetes is under control.
Under control,
side benefit. Took for diabetes, stopped his depression, or helped with his depression. Okay, so that's thank you for that question. It led to mental brain disorders. That's really good. Yeah. Oh, that's
Thank
Dominic.
you, sir.
I can hear Dominic.
You're asking something later. Okay, I'm almost done.
Last
Okay,
question.
This topic. Yeah, this will be our last question for tonight, coming from Miss Pinay Bayan, who is also one of our avid viewers here in Simply Health Governor. If I do not have cancer, can I eat kimchi?
Yes, but don't eat too frequently.
Okay, what is too frequently, Doc?
Too frequently is every day.
Okay, so what is safe?
Safe would be once a week, or 2 to 4 times per month. That would be okay.
Okay, so go and enjoy your kimchi on Korean night. Okay, where you go and eat Korean dishes. All right.
Can we take just one last one?
Last one, sure.
Okay. Can you have too much antioxidant for foods and supplements coming from his album?
From food, no, because your body will only absorb
what it needs.
The same thing with supplements. So for multivitamins that have antioxidants, your body will only absorb what it needs. The rest will just excrete.
Oh, and that's why if you ever taken a multivitamin, or I recently take Boraka, my urine is bright yellow in color. And if you remember your chemistry, basic chemistry when you were in high school, when we have labs, you test minerals, they're all the colors, right? They appear in colors. So I realized Boraka was helping my urine become very expensive because a lot of the minerals was not absorbed. It went through, right? So that's why eating vegetables is one of the best ways to absorb minerals, because the minerals are chelated. They are processed by the vegetables already, making it easier for your body to absorb them. So as Doc Jansen always says, a plant-based diet has a lot of benefits.
Thank you, Sir Sean. Thank you, Doc Jansen. All right. So, just before we say goodbye, of course, our short and sweetest party words to our dear viewers for our last episode for the year 2022. Coming first up with maybe Sir Doc Jansen and then Sir Sean.
Okay. So, thank you everyone for staying with us until this late at night, even though it's December 29, New Year, okay? Merry Christmas to everyone and a Happy New Year. Thank you for watching all our episodes this 2022. For 2023, we're going to have the same things but more exciting, okay? For 2023, actually, we've discussed a lot of topics already about cancer this year. So for 2023, I want to
concentrate on immunotherapy.
On the new things.
New approaches to cancer.
Immunotherapy. So on the get-go, since immunotherapy would now be the next big thing in cancer treatment, so in this decade, expect that more and more immunotherapy will now be more and more prescribed. It will now be more accepted in the medical field. No, there will be a lot of clinical trials that would be submitted wherein we can see very, very promising results with immunotherapy. Okay, so for those viewers who really hates chemotherapy, this is a good news for you, because I believe chemotherapy would soon be phased out. Okay, although of course chemotherapy would still have its benefits for specific cancers, especially those which are harder to treat. So chemotherapy would still be around, but at least in this decade, okay, chemotherapy would now be slowly be put on behind the shelf. So it will now be immunotherapy. So this is one of the reasons why I want to focus more on and start discussing immunotherapy already, so you guys can get educated. You already know what are the benefits of immunotherapy and how it can help cancer patients.
So, Doc, thank you, because it's always very exciting when a new type of treatment is taking center stage. But because of that also, sometimes for most of us cancer patients and loved ones of cancer patients, there's a lot of hype around it, or we don't even know what questions to ask because it's something really new. So I think that will be really fun and helpful for everybody next year. For me, I just want to thank everybody. Doc has already thanked you. I again want to thank you for your support. I just want to say a happy New Year to everyone. I want to just say an encouraging word that a new year is a new start. So a new start means new hope. Take a fresh look at your fight against cancer. Reset your hope to the highest levels. You're beginning a new year. It's like a new chance, right? So continue on your journey fighting cancer. And those of you who are in remission, congratulations, you crossed another year. You are one step closer to the 5-year goal in remission. So all good news. Once again, Happy New Year, everybody, and looking forward to a wonderful 2023 with everyone.
Thank you. On behalf, of course, of all our viewers, thank you so much, Mr. Sean Lim, and of course, Doc Jansen Calalan, for your lectures and also the learnings that we have gotten from you. Thank you so much. Also, of course, I would also like to invite everybody this coming January 5, another Thursday, we'll be having the topic, should I go to the clinic or use DIY pap smear?
Okay.
Good topic to start off next year, okay? So once again, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year to all of you guys. Thank you so much for joining us all throughout this 2022 and choosing us as a part of your health journey, because your health or your success in your cancer battles is what keeps us going here in Simply Nature. Because here in Simply Nature, we are always with you from start to healing. Thank you, everybody. Good night. God bless you. Happy New Year, everybody.